You ran all day, answered every message, knocked out every task, never sat down, and somewhere around midnight, lying there wired and exhausted, a quiet voice asks the question you keep dodging. If I'm working this hard, why am I not getting anywhere? Here's the answer nobody says out loud. Busy is just how being broke feels productive. We were raised on a clean little promise. Work hard, get money. So the moment money gets tight, we reach for the only lever we know. Do more, wake up earlier, add the side hustle, fill every gap, and then we lie awake confused because the harder we run, the more the floor seems to move under us. Motion is the costume poverty wears to look like progress. Looking busy and building wealth are not the same thing. They are barely even related, and until somebody untangles those two for you, you will sprint in place for years and call it ambition. So let's pull this apart, because being busy isn't just useless here, it's the exact thing keeping you stuck. Here's the first hard truth. Busy feels good because busy is a painkiller. You finish a packed day and your brain hands you a little hit of pride. Look how much I did. But did is not built. You can move for 10 hours straight and own nothing more than you did at breakfast. Watch a broke grind up close, the color-coded calendar, the 80 answered emails, the 4th productivity app. It looks like a war on poverty. It's actually a hiding place, because underneath, most busyness is fear wearing a uniform. When you don't actually know which move will make you money, you make all of them, and you call the exhaustion progress. That's not a strategy. That's panic with a to-do list. Let's give it a name. The motion trap. The busier you get, the more progress you feel and the less you actually build, because motion is loud and the few things that build real wealth are almost always quiet. I lived in that trap for years. I was the guy who was always doing something, always tired, always ready to tell you exactly how slammed my week was, and I wore it like a medal. I thought my exhaustion was proof I was on my way. It took me an embarrassingly long time to admit it. I stayed busy because busy was easier than being honest that none of it was adding up. Tired felt like trying, and as long as I was tired, I never had to ask whether I was tired in the right direction. Now the part that stings, the market does not pay you for effort. It never has. You don't get money for being tired. You get paid for being useful in a way that's hard to replace, and ideally in a way that keeps paying after you stop. Broke people sell time. 1 hour, 1 paycheck, gone, and you have to show up and bleed for the next one. Wealthy people build leverage, a skill, an asset, a system, something that works the shift you're not there for. That's why the wealthy can look almost lazy. They're not lazy. They just stopped confusing the gas pedal with the steering wheel. You can floor a car in neutral all day long. Loud engine, burning fuel, going absolutely nowhere. That's a busy, broke life in a single image. So the question that changes everything was never how do I do more? It's this: what could I build once that pays me twice? And here's the last layer, the most human one. A lot of your busy is avoidance in a very good disguise. There is usually one move you already know you should make. The scary one. Ask for the raise. Launch the thing you keep talking about. Send the pitch. Drop the client who pays late and drains the life out of you. And it's terrifying because the scary move can be told no. So instead, you do 12 small, safe, urgent little tasks that can't really reject you, and you go to bed feeling productive. That is the cruelest trick of the motion trap. It lets you dodge the one thing that scares you and pays you in the feeling of discipline for doing it. Your to-do list becomes the place your biggest move goes to hide, and a year slips by. Then 2, you're still busy, still tired, still waiting, and the scary thing is still sitting right there, the one door you never let yourself walk through. What finally changed it for me wasn't working harder, it was the opposite. I sat down for one afternoon with no list and no tasks, which honestly made my skin crawl. And I asked myself one question: if I could only do one thing this month, the single thing that actually moves the needle, what is it? I knew the answer instantly. I'd known for months. I'd just kept it buried under noise, because doing it meant risking a no. I did that one quiet, uncomfortable thing. It didn't feel like much. It made me more than the previous 6 months of frantic combined. So let me say the thing I wish someone had grabbed me by the collar and told me: you are not behind because you're not doing enough. You're stuck because you're doing too much of what doesn't count. Being busy is not a personality, it is not a virtue, and it is definitely not the same as getting somewhere. So, step off the wheel for 1 honest hour, find the one move you've been hiding from, and pour the energy of 10 busy days into that single thing. Do less, but make it count, because the goal was never to be busy, the goal was to be free. And you do not buy freedom by the hour. And if this hit a nerve, the next one goes after the engine running underneath all of it. The reaction you can't seem to control, the one quietly costing you more than any habit on this list. The art of not reacting. I'll see you there.